Want to grow at home. In this series, in this video, we will see Ratanjot, or botanically known as Jatropha Curcas plant. This plant is actually useful for extracting bioenergy. So Jatropha is a flowering plant and it belongs to the family Euphorbiaceae. It is a shrub with small flowers surrounded by bright red bracts. It is commonly known as Buddha belly plant, actually used in tanning leathers and produce a red dye. This plant is a evergreen plant that has slender stems and multiple fronds. These plants can reach about 15 feet tall and have an equal spread. Moreover, from this plant, particularly from the seeds, a crude oil kind of substance can be extracted, which is actually used as biofuel. This plant can be grown in well-drained location, and it is not too particular when it comes to the soil and location. It can grow most of the soil conditions, but the plant must be planted in an area where there is partial or full sunlight. So this is a required condition for this plant. The plant can be grown as a mixed shrub or as a hedge. This plant is actually 3 months old. So it looks like small herb, but actually when it grows it becomes a shrub. It actually producing seeds, and from the seeds the oil can be extracted. So currently people are cultivating this plant in large scale for this purpose. So how to grow this Jatropha plant? Just to follow the simple rules. Suppose if you want to cultivate this plant in your garden, either you can get from the nursery or you can raise from the seeds. So once you receive the plant from the nursery, keep this plant in indirect bright light. And the second condition you should follow is don't repot it immediately. Wait for 1 to 2 weeks. Let acclimatize first, and make sure that the soil conditions are right for the plant to grow, and sprinkle the water whenever it is required. After 1 or 2 weeks, when the plant got acclimatized in the local conditions, now it is ready for replantation. So dig a hole somewhat shallower, then place the plant in the hole and replace the soil, then water sufficiently. So within a week's time the plant starts growing. So within 6 months time frame the plant grown in full-fledged one. In the seasonal times it producing lot of seeds. People used to procure the seeds for extracting the oil. It also having medicinal properties. In the seasonal times, this plant actually producing lot of fruits. So we have to dry the fruits so you can get the seeds from the fruits. So you can raise the plant using the seeds also, but generally the seeds are useful for extracting the oil, as I mentioned earlier. In the seasonal times, this plant actually producing lot of fruits. So we have to dry the fruit. So one can raise the plant from the seeds, but a special methodology is required. The first step involves place Jatropha seeds in cold water. Follow that, discard the smallest seeds that are smaller than kidney beans and the ones that sink, they are not likely to germinate. So you have to find out which seeds actually going to germinate based on this principle. So allow the rest of the seeds to choke overnight. So you can also remove the seeds from the water after determining which ones sink or flow. Then each of them with knife. Choking or nicking helps improve germination rates. So these two methods are actually highly useful. So it will enhance the germination percentage. Then fill potting bags or planting trays or pot with a potting mix that contains soil or peat or any other suitable plant. Jatropha products. You can get live plant and Jatropha seed and Jatropha seed ball also. So in summary, this plant is very easy to grow and it can grow at any kind of soil and tolerate almost all conditions. Only thing is you should maintain the moisture content of the soil